Welcome back to this week's changelog. The team put out 23 updates and we're talking about some of my favorites. Let's jump into it. First things first, we added a brand new way to manage duplicate records. In the event that a child might have a duplicate record in the system, we now flag it for you and make it really easy to combine the information between the two profiles so that you can maintain the hygiene of your playground system. Let me show you how it works. In Playground now, we will flag for you automatically if we found a potential duplicate. This looks at names and birthdays to make sure that the correct number of students are actually set up in your Playground instance. And when you click on View here, you'll see all of the potential duplicates, which you can either ignore or click View to see which two accounts exist and which one you want to keep. You can also make sure that any additional guardians that might be tied to the accounts that are being collapsed also get kept or are not kept at all if it's incorrect. We uploaded a brand new article to our Help Center covering all the details about merging families and merging students, and so I'd encourage you to check that out as you start managing duplicates on your own. Our next major feature is scheduled reports. You can now schedule any report to land in anyone's inbox on virtually any type of schedule. Let me show you how this works and some of my favorite use cases that are extraordinarily powerful. In Playground now, in the top right corner of your reports page, you'll see a scheduled reports button, which lets you schedule a report by choosing either a custom report or a standard report that you can find to have delivered on a regular schedule. I'm going to take one of my favorite use cases, the billing planned ending soon, and I want this to run for my entire program, and I want this to land in my account maybe on Mondays and on Fridays at 9 a.m. And this should go to myself along with my colleague Henry. And this is my billing plan ending soon report. When I hit finish, every single week on Monday and on Friday at 9 a.m., I will have a report waiting for me in my inbox with the data for that given day. And I can click on this to see all the runs here, but this makes it significantly easier to stay on top of any sort of recurring data needs that you might have, whether it's billing plans ending soon or it's immunization records that are expiring, whatever it might be. This now automates the experience, whereas before you had to go in and remember to pull this report on a regular basis. All of this now can just be automated by Playground. The next major update is a revamp of the lesson activity creation flow on the admin dashboard. We've now made it significantly easier and more clear to make activities in Playground, and we've made it easier than ever to use AI to give you inspiration and remix the ideas that you already have in place. Let me show you how it works. When I add an activity in Playground, we've updated the screen to make it easier than ever to create an activity, hiding some of the optional details that aren't always necessary to create an activity. And we've also made it significantly easier to use Camber to plan the perfect activity for your classroom. And so if I plan with Camber and say, create an activity for 2-year-olds focused on STEM and involving volcanoes, Camber will create this based off of whatever information that you give, including an activity name, description, materials, age range, so on and so forth. You can also remix to tell it to please also focus specifically on fine motor development. And it will redo this activity with the additional constraints that you provide. We can't wait to see what activities you create and implement in your classrooms. This week, our team also put out an update that gives Camber the ability to recognize when it's talking to an already enrolled family, and you can provide Camber with specific instructions to use when talking to an enrolled family that might be different from speaking to a prospective family. So if you want to initiate specific transfer logic or provide specific kinds of greetings, if we already know that it's a registered family, you can now make that happen in Camber under your CRM settings. A quick update on our API, which we are continuing to develop and to build. We added a few endpoints this week that make it easy now to call student medical information and medications. And lastly, this week we added incredible support for Indiana CCDF and Florida-based subsidy agencies. If you upload deposits from agencies in those states, the system will automatically ingest it and key in all of those values each month when you record your deposits. So this should significantly reduce the amount of time spent reconciling your deposits each month if you're in those states. That's it for this week's update. We'll see you next week.